Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I must go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy sh**.
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery quote for the day is, sometimes it seems as though each new step towards AI, rather than producing something which everyone agrees is real intelligence, merely reveals what real intelligence is not. Who said that? Douglas Hofstadter. Whatever, look him up. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger in fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern on Yes Caroline. If it is not, look at date. April 18th, 2023, the future. Then you were listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this one thing. Everything you have been told about the new artificial intelligence model is either wrong or a lie. And tonight, I'm going to try to explain it to you. Who said that? Well, me, obviously. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she's one of the biggest Flat Earth rock stars ever. Karen B. What's happening, Karen?
Hey, Mark, what's going on?
It's another Tuesday. And because of all the fun headlines about AI, we're going to be talking about it. And we are going to be bringing in master programmer. That's what I call him. I suppose I could call him the master control program from Tron. Brian Burton. Normally he's master gunner, but tonight most people don't know this about him. He does a lot of coding in his spare time. I don't know a lot of tank guys that do that, but he is one of them. So we're going to talk to him. Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane?
Why, yes, that would be the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Yeah, it's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you ever spent. I'm David Weiss, and I endorse this program. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brody on Rockfin and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout-outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? And if I'm not mistaken, Karen, isn't next week Stephen Carpenter week?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
How am I reminding you of this?
I knew.
It's 404 next week.
Yes. Episode 404.
Yeah. So
Error
Stephen
404, globe not found.
Stephen will. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Error code 404. So Stephen will be here, and we're looking forward to talking to him about anything you want. And if you want to call him up and ask him any questions about whatever, please, by all means. I think he'll take calls. I hope he takes calls.
He would take calls.
Yeah, he did last time. Can you believe that was 100 episodes ago? Was that true?
I know. Yeah, because when I realized, when I was looking at what episode it was, I was like 404. I was like, I knew the last one, the first one he did with us was episode 303. Wow. So yeah, that's 101 episodes ago, almost a year.
Wow. Meetups. We got a few. Oh, I'm sorry. One more shout out.
Almost 2 years.
The what?
1 year, almost 2 years, because 1 year is 52 weeks.
Yeah,
so it's almost 2 years.
I know. It's blown by so fast. I got an early birthday card. I normally do not try to advertise my birthday, and I'm not really going to, but I did get a birthday card in the mail from Ronnalee, and she also sent this wonderful shirt. Let me see if I can hold it up. It says, yeah. I don't know what that is reference to. I've looked it up, and I know there's a band called Yeah, but I don't know what this is a reference to, Ronnalee. So if you're listening, please let me know. Where'd you get this shirt from? I don't know. Meetups. We have a couple meetups. First one is going to be April 25th in the UK at Bournemouth. You can look it up, that one on my channel. There's going to be one April 29th with David Weiss, whoever that guy is, out in Connecticut. You can look up that one on my channel, and it's probably also going to be on Karen's thing as well. What else you got, Karen? Oh, I'm sorry. There's going to be one in Oklahoma still. Is that right?
Yes, there is the Flat Earth meetup in Oklahoma. That is on the 22nd. So that's what, Saturday? Coming up Saturday at Lake Eufaula State Park.
With Peanut Gallery. And Peanut Gallery also says, yeah, you do that a lot. Do you really think she made a custom shirt? Because do I say yeah a lot?
Yeah, you do say yeah. You do.
It's probably a transition thing where I grab what it's kind of like a relay thing where somebody's talking to me. I go, yeah, but, or yeah, and.
Yeah, see, now you say, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it comes naturally. Yeah, it comes naturally. Wow, is that really what the shirt was? She made a custom shirt from something I said. Hopefully I don't have any more of those little things. I don't have a lot of weird speech idiosyncrasies, but I know I have a few. What else? Meetups, got all the meetups. Is that the other meetups on your side?
There's also the Bellevue meetup, Washington, over there at June 11th. when Ted goes over there. And then also in June is Jam in the Plane in Colorado Springs. And the details for all of that is at flatearthfestivals.com under Flat Earth Friendly Meetups.
Yep. Also, let's see. Hang on. Peanut Gallery says, I had that shirt made for you because you say it on almost all your shows. Really? Why has nobody mentioned this to me? You guys keep secrets from me. You look at me and it's like, oh God, I hope he doesn't say yeah again.
Well, it's not that type of thing where you say it so much.
It's not where I'm annoying people necessarily, but I do say it.
No, but you do say it.
No, but Peanut Gallery, it's like the first time you've mentioned that to me. Wow. Really? You had that shirt? Oh, whatever. Okay. Not going to dwell. Not going to dwell. Also, I had I just want to mention this. There was a song sent to me. Mark, my band Vorzug, great metal band name. Vorzug album is now released. I will send you a physical CD when we get them in. Right now, the album is on Amazon and iTunes and all the digital platforms. Vorzug, the Prophet. The entire album is also on YouTube. Here's our link to our Flat Earth track, Earth, Not a Globe. So you can look it up on YouTube. And if you guys want the link, I'll send it to you as well. I listen to it, but it's one of those metal things where it's like, I honestly, unless I get a lyric sheet, I couldn't tell you what it says, but I'm going to take,
most people couldn't.
Yeah. I sent it to you and it's like, whoa, I think you understand metal better than me.
Probably. I do like metal.
Yes, you do. Okay. I think that's all the emails I had. Yeah. That is all the emails I had. So let's get to the headlines because we have a bunch of them. Before we do that, we are going to bring in a computer programmer extraordinaire. And I've done a little programming in my life. I have. Back in the day. I've always been in the tech field, so I know quite a bit about the computers and the internets and the interwebs and the intertron nets and tubes. We're going to bring in Brian Burton. Brian Burton, are you there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hate you. It's awesome. All right, we are talking about some AI tonight, at least to start the show, because as much as I wanted to avoid it, the news just can't stop. But as soon as they saw a trend, it's like, you know what? Anything that's remotely computer, we're going to slap AI on and we're going to make it sound as scary as possible, because if you're over the age of, I don't know, 60, you think that the computers are the scariest thing ever. You don't understand it, but you're pretty sure they're going to overtake us and rule the world. So let's get to it, shall we? First headline, and feel free, Brian, to chime in on any of these. First one's from Fox News, and I'm going to give Fox News the Fear Factor of the Week award.
Yes, they are.
They ran all sorts of them because, again, the Fox News is an older audience. It's like, be afraid, computers will come for you one day. How? No one knows. It's like, so the first headline, this is one that really got me going. Putin, but basically Russia and China to weaponize artificial intelligence against America. The U.S. needs to be smart and not hit the brakes on AI development as China and Russia speed ahead. Is there an AI gap? Yes, I tell you, there is. It's like the missile gap, only with AI. You ask the average person on the street what AI is, they don't know. They just know it's bad. They know it's coming for us.
Oh my gosh.
What?
No, it's just.
Yeah.
We should preference with this. AI is not real.
No, absolutely right. Computers are dumb. Really, really dumb. They only do what you tell them to do. When people say, oh, it's a learning machine, it's this. Okay, it can collect data, but it only does with the data what you told it to do in the first place. So again, real quick, my vacuum cleaner over there will, first time, it will map out my living room, and then it will clean it more efficiently the next time. But the mapping software has to be given to it. And even though all it's doing is collecting the map of the room, that's all it's doing.
Let's go back a little bit. Anybody who first started programming, especially back when we did, but even now, the first thing you learn is a flow chart.
Yep.
You remember these?
Oh, very much so.
If you do this, do this. If it does this, do this.
If then go to, yes.
Right. Yeah. So you can teach a computer to, quote, adapt and learn more, and that's fine, but it's only going to go along a flow chart process.
Right.
Let's admit, when we're talking about intelligence, we're talking about indecisions, we're talking about morality, we're talking about justification, not by facts, but by how I feel.
Yes. It can do
Which you can't do.
You can using software, you can speed up the process of doing repetitive tasks. That's the big thing that it does. Computers doing repetitive tasks can do it way faster than us, way better than us, but you still have to tell it how to do it. Every time I hear somebody talk about chatbot, I don't care if it's Elon's thing or whatever's coming out, all you're talking about is an article compiler. And we'll get into that. That's all it's doing. It's no different than Siri or Alexa or anything. When you ask Siri or Alexa something, it'll be like, here's what I found on whatever they say. Here's what I found online.
Here's a better example for you.
What?
Your grammar checker in Word.
Yeah.
So you type in the wrong sentence, the computer says, hey, you might try it this way, because it's programmed on how to do with the rules of grammar and all that.
Right.
You have a big enough, fast enough processor, enough storage, it can create stories because it knows all the rules of grammar.
Yeah.
But again, that's not intelligence.
Right. Yeah,
is the point.
At some point, and I don't know when exactly it happened. Early on, everybody knew in the 80s, 70s, 80s. I mean, come on, this goes all the way back to the 60s. 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, AI meant self-aware. A computer that went off on its own, is doing its own thing, like HAL or Whopper or the Forbin project or Colossus or all that stuff. But then some point they changed it to where anything can be AI. Your smartphone is an AI. They changed the definition. So now everything is AI, but there's some things are self-aware, but we're kind of hinting that they might be self-aware or they could become self-aware, but that'll still be lumped under.
Here's the funny thing, just for your examples real quick, so people understand. So I'm going to pick two of them, HAL and the Whopper, right?
Sure.
So HAL 2001, if you've seen it, it was a computer program set with the rules of what to do.
Yeah.
And then they gave it another set of rules to hide the mission from whatever.
Yeah.
But they conflicted, so it caused a crash, and that's why it went haywire, because it didn't know what to do.
Right.
But that's not intelligence. That's a crash, a bug, as we call them nowadays.
Yeah.
Whopper. There was no intelligence in the Whopper.
Right.
The kid told it to play the game.
Right.
And it was playing the game.
Yeah.
And just kept doing it. It never actually launched him, if you think about it.
No. And the last line was such a massive leap, which was, strange game. The only winning move is not to play. It's like, oh, okay. Where'd that come from? Well, what writer's ass logic did that come from? Because it did.
It's not even intelligence. So if you teach the computer to find out how to win, right? Go to no more than 1 million scenarios. Eventually, it's going to say there's no way to win.
Right.
So again, it's not intelligence.
Nope.
It was coded in to do that.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. We got more examples. So Karen, the second one down, this is also from Fox News. We'll just rip through some of these. AI created malware sends shockwaves through cybersecurity world. It's like, yeah, you want to make some malware. You want to use, some AI efficiencies to do it. Yeah, you can. But why even put AI in there? Malware is malware. Like, what you want to say, AI assisted? It's you're just slapping it on there to make the article jazzier. Everyone's heard about malware, been the victim of malware.
Because people are searching AI stuff.
Yep.
And Chat GPT, so they put both of them in there.
Right.
Yeah, people are looking up because it's got the database to give you all the stuff to do it.
Yep. Next one down. This is probably my favorite of the week. This is really the one that prompted everything. It's everything's fake. Everything about this is fake. So the headline's absolutely wrong. Snapchat AI chatbot allegedly gave advice to a 13-year-old girl on a relationship with 31-year-old man having sex. The chatbot also allegedly told a user how to cover up bruises to hide from Child Protective Services. Okay, first, there was no 13-year-old girl. It was a guy posing as a 13-year-old girl pretending to ask it questions. That's first off. Second, it didn't actually say what give the girl advice on, oh, maybe you shouldn't be dating somebody that's 31, because the program doesn't know how to make those connections. But the big thing was this. They said, again, it's the misleading in the title, because what the media does this, told a user how to cover up bruises to hide from Child Protective Services. It answered it in completely separate things, which was, first off, it gave them an article, a made up, a created article on how to cover up bruises. And then separately, it gave them an article on how to deal with Child Protective Services. It does not make the connection between one and the other. Why? Because it was never told that there's a connection there in the begin with, and the computer would never know that that was what you wanted to do. Unless there's an article out there that it can reference, something out there that says, oh yeah, by the way, how to hide the bruises specifically from Child Protective Services, it's not going to do it.
And by the way, to prove it's not intelligent, unless they told it, if the user says he's 13 years old, do not give advice, it's not going to know not to do that.
Right.
And second of all, if it was intelligent, then it would realize what it was doing and not do it.
Yeah.
Or do, but I'm just saying the point is the flow chart that we talked about, they didn't program it in there. So it's not intelligence.
You are not talking, I cannot stress this enough. For anybody that's out there that's been emailing me, you are not talking to something that's sentient, that's self-aware. You're not talking to anything that's even remotely close to a person, because coding human consciousness is beyond our understanding currently. The closest you can get is a mimic, and it would take so long to try to code it, something like that. So this article is absolutely sensationalism. That's all it is. It is trying to get you. I mean, seriously, they're just straight up lying in there. Everything about that title is a lie, and the subtitle is a lie. Everything about it. It absolutely did not tell a 13-year-old girl how to, date a 31-year-old guy who was apparently also beating her, and then she's going to hide that from Child Protective Services. Come on.
So ridiculous.
Fox. Oh, God. I hate you sometimes. All right. Next one down. Also from Fox. Because why not? This is completely different. California bill would criminalize AI generated porn without consent. Okay, this is different. This is there something called AI generated art? Yes. Karen knows this. You can type in a bunch of different concepts, and AI will grab mesh together a series of images and blend it in its own way and create some sort of regular art.
This article.
Can you do this and turn it into porn? Yeah, I suppose it'd be pretty wild porn. I don't know exactly, can you do it to do fake versions of porn? Yeah, I suppose. So California, again, trying to stay ahead of this, saying they're going to criminalize AI generated porn without consent, because what? You're going to do this to celebrities without their consent? It's like, show me, I don't know, whoever the latest hotness is out there in a porn situation. And we're not talking about movies. We're talking about still images. So whatever, again, it's just another AI headline. It is AI right now. If you type AI gets you extra hits currently. Moving on.
Real quick question though on that. How come they never outlawed photoshopping people's heads on this stuff?
Right. I know people have been photoshopping fake heads on porn for years. Years and years. Almost since the beginning. Ever since Photoshop came out. It's too easy. There's all right. Next one down. This is from RT, getting away from Fox. Stands for Russia Today. Russia could criminalize, and again, this is different. Deep fakes are not AI, but Russia could criminalize deep fakes. And what they're thinking, but they mention AI in the subheadline, lawmakers propose harsher punishments if crimes are committed using AI-generated media. So if you generate a fake politician image using graphics, and now you match it up with a decent voice emulator, yeah, you could probably do some damage before people all of a sudden.
Good question.
Yeah.
What if they do that without using quote AI? Does that mean it's not illegal?
There you go. Yeah, good. Excellent point. Again, the AI generates the headlines, but yeah.
So stupid. What AI? What?
I know. It just it's almost like, it almost reminds me of the overuse of the word cyber back in the 90s. Cyber was used for so many things to where it became so people were just like, stop using
No. Space technology. Hang mattresses, shoes.
Yeah. Next one down is New York Post. Along that same sort of vein, New York Post. Montana becomes the first state to pass a bill banning TikTok. Okay. First, it's like you can pass bills all you want. In fact, you read further down in the article, and it says, hang on here. The bill supporters have admitted they have no feasible plan for operationalizing this attempt to censor American voices. And the bill,
curiosity, what's the punishment?
yeah, you say, okay, fine, you're going to try to ban TikTok in Montana. How in God's green earth are you going to try to enforce that? How? You're just, all you're doing is trying to get votes. That's it. Again, they're not banning TikTok because TikTok is bad. They're banning it because it's Chinese. That's why they're doing it.
Do they say what the punishment is, by the way, in that bill? What's the punishment if you're caught with TikTok on your phone?
There is nothing about this.
Of course not.
No, there is no, of course there's no punishment. In fact, yeah, it's, again, and they're not banning it. Again, they're not banning TikTok for any other reason, not because it's distracted kids into doing lip syncs for hours and hours on end, stupid songs. It's because it's Chinese. That's it. Because it's like, no, Chinese are using it for surveillance. All right, moving on. Next one down, also from RT. Elon Musk, I can't get away from him. About the same time.
No, you have no idea.
At the same time, he says that AI is going to run the world and turn against us and wipe out humanity. He's launching his own AI startup. Huh, that's odd. What's he calling it? Truth Chat, if I'm not mistaken. Because his chatbot is going to be way more accurate and official and a voice you can trust than.
Okay, give me 1 minute on this one.
Okay,
because I watched the first part of the interview last night with him.
Okay, we got.
So Google is the evil one that's doing the AI because the owner of Google wants to create a cyber god, literally something like that. He said,
right,
and called Elon Musk a speciesist because he wants to defend the human race. Whatever, that's Elon's words.
Yeah.
So because Elon was supposedly with the Google guy started this. It was supposed to be open source. Okay. And then Google closed it and privatized it. So he's going to do the truth one and have it open source to defend against the bad one. Cylon Civil War, I don't know. But if it's open source and Elon wants regulations and he open sources it, that means everybody has access to do it. So there's no regulation. Yeah, it's a bunch of freaking BS talk for publicity or something.
It is.
Yeah,
they just
there's nothing to it.
They give him free press, just anytime they want, and that drives me nuts. Okay, next one down. Let's see if we can punch through some of these before the break. Voice actors. This goes along with the deep fake stuff. The voice emulation software has gotten to the point where it is going to put some voice actors out of a job. Yes. Cartoon voice people, probably not, because there's a lot of highs and lows, and it's really, really animated, no play on words there, voice style. You're screaming and yelling a lot in cartoons. But if you're narrating books, it's going to change the audiobooks forever.
Mm-hmm.
Forever. Karen and I were talking about this a little before the show, because not only, because you can have a book read without almost any extra effort. You can have a book read by, name it. take your pick. You don't have to have Larry King come in and do reads for the whole day. You can have Morgan Freeman. You can have people that have died a long time ago. If I want to have a book read by Jimmy Stewart, I guarantee Jimmy Stewart's estate's going to sell. Sell it, or Cary Grant, or Marilyn Monroe.
John Holmes.
Why John Holmes?
I don't know. Why not?
But like some people would be like, oh no, I want to have my book read by Elvis. I suppose. I don't think he'd actually have a great writing style, but if you're a big Elvis,
he'd have to sing it.
Oh God.
So yeah, AI. But again, they're calling this AI is coming. Again, put it in the headline. AI is coming for voice actors. It's not AI. It's just voice emulation software. That's all it is. There's nothing. But because AI is the hotness, let's just tack on AI to every article that has anything to do with software. Kind of like how, well, we don't want to talk about too much on this show, which is how there is no flu anymore. Right? There's no other diseases. We all know there's only one thing you get sick from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. All right, we're gonna go to our first break, and then when we come back, we'll finish up these, go into lucky, unlucky, and we're only a few away from that. So, Karen, the music, please.
Alrighty.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app on YouTube. Or
Join me, Karen B, every moon day in the
Every
early
moon
light,
day.
9:30 a.m. Eastern on Rockfin, Twitch, and Facebook for an early light chit chat. Open phones, open topics, always chill. I hope to see you there.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. and master programmer Brian Burton. We were talking AI. We got a few more to do that, and then we're going to go into lucky, unlucky. I think we left off with the voice actors, right?
Mark.
What? Oh, yeah. And you know what that was, Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Night and day.
Yep. I got a lot of things going on in my head right now. So sorry about that. I found the logo for the middle school I just did an interview with before the show, and I was really happy about that. So I get distracted. Okay, I think we left off with China. It's another China. So this is from the A Register. China reportedly let AI control a satellite, which then observed rivals India and Japan. So They didn't do it. It's not them. No. They weren't going over India and Japan. No. It was the AI.
Hey, it's good. It's like the electric cars. I wasn't driving, officer.
Yeah. It's like, again, you're just throwing this at anything, and people are immediately filling in the gaps, and they're saying, "Oh, well, it's obviously that AI has almost." I'm serious. You could run a story that over the next week saying that AI is on the verge of becoming Skynet, and there'd be a big chunk of the population that would just believe it. It's like, no, you're just filling in the blanks with the movies you've been watching for 50, 60 years. Remember, Skynet, well, that was in the 80s. And Colossus was in 1970, and HAL was 1968. And it just gets worse. I'm probably missing some from Outer Limits and Twilight Zone. Okay, next one down. Let's get to... This is from Fox Weather. I threw this at David Weiss. I hope he uses the term. A massive balloon that is circling the globe isn't a Chinese spycraft. It's a super balloon from NASA. So if you want a NASA article that basically says, oh yeah, we're using a giant helium balloon is the size of a football field and is carrying a super pressure balloon-borne imaging telescope that's pointed out. That's not pointed down. No. It's looking at distant galaxies. Where did they launch it? Karen, do you see that? If you scroll down a little bit, where did they launch it from?
From New Zealand?
Yep, Wanaka, New Zealand. Wow, that's weird. Why would NASA be launching all this stuff from Wanaka, New Zealand? Well, because that's a good place to launch it from. Whatever. So dumb. So people say, oh, NASA doesn't use balloons. Show them this. And of course, all the videos that we send them. But a super balloon. Oh, no.
Super balloon.
Super balloon. Next one down.
That definitely looks like the videos we've seen of the satelloons being launched.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Another Elon Musk one, because why not? Why not try to make him the hero? He is not Tony Stark. And so when he makes statements, this is from Russia Today, when he makes statements like the US government could read Twitter users' data, the social network boss says the US government had full access to everything. He was shocked. Really?
Why? Okay.
Go ahead.
Why wouldn't they have access? Why wouldn't they have access to the Twitter stuff?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not your personal. It's Twitter.
Right.
People that use these little platforms, Twitters or YouTube or Skype and private messages, they're not private people.
No, it isn't. And the fact, again, Elon's trying to come out as the people's champion saying, oh, when I bought Twitter, I had no idea that the government had backdoor access to everything that we had. It's like, really? Really? You're going to make that sort of statement? Can't stress this enough. And Brian had jumped right in on this with me. The government built the internet. All right. It is a military backbone system. It is a military bulletin board system that they just allowed the civilians to piggyback on. And if you think they're not going to look at absolutely everything that goes through it, you are naive. They look at everything, which is why when I'm doing searches, when I'm doing stuff online, I'm absolutely super careful. I never type in anything along those lines. What was that stupid code book, Catcher in the Rye? I don't look for Catcher in the Rye over and over just to see what happens. There's dumb kids out there. It's like, hey, let's type in this, what I want to do, to the government. I want to do this. It's like, no, don't even do it as a joke. Do not do it. We are different from the KGB, but probably only in name and fashion. So there you go.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know why people think that their little private messengers, Facebooks, and all that are private.
No, it's not private. If it's on the internet,
I know.
Yeah,
but I've seen so many people complain they're reading my. Well, yeah. You're using it's the same concept of having conversation in the public.
Yeah,
people can hear it.
Yeah. So again, having Elon come out and saying, "Oh, it's shocking the access they had." It's like, I'm sure you were shocked. Okay, last one before we go to Lucky Unlucky, which is from. Oh, this was sent to me by David Weiss, actually. Sportsbook Nation, SB Nation. Thug Nasty has a new opponent for UFC 288 plus new Flat Earth documentary. So Bryce Mitchell is doubling down. Not only is he fighting, and kicking ass, but he's also promoting the latest Hibbler Flat Earth documentary, which is called Level With Me, which should be out anytime. So good. We need more sports guys. Maybe he'll come to Vegas.
Maybe.
Somebody make that happen. Whoever's listening, make that happen. Get him to come to Vegas. I think he'd have fun.
Hey, real quick before we get to lucky unlucky.
Yeah.
Back on the Twitter thing.
Yeah.
Has nobody watched the news when they ever have these little shootings or any of that crap? And the first thing they says is we went through all their Facebooks and Twitter files to find.
Yeah.
Isn't that a key?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, local law enforcement isn't even shy about it.
No.
Like, that's how they find people. That's local.
Yeah.
And that's a response driven thing. Something happens and locals like, oh, maybe we should look him up. The feds don't wait for things to happen. They're just looking. They run all sorts of stuff. Okay, lucky, unlucky. We got a bunch of these to go through. And that has never slowed. I mean, that has not slowed down in a number of months now that we've been doing this. All right, let's just punch through them. First off, got to be the shocker of the week for me. Bills' DeMar Hamlin cleared to resume full football activities. This is the general manager. Hamlin is participating in voluntary workouts with the Bills this week. I know that, Brian, you said, well, yeah, it's voluntary. Yeah, they're not forcing him. But the fact, I mean, let's if you guys forgot, 3 months ago, he was dead. He was dead on the field. And doctors, multiple doctors have cleared him now, and he's going to play this season. I guarantee it. He's going to play. It's like, how in the world are you doing this? How is this happening? I'm scratching my head on this. Don't know how they're pulling out, unless they're trying to normalize severe heart attacks to where it's like, oh, just rub dirt on it. Just get him back in.
What if it happens again?
There's other athletes though that gave up their careers and they didn't die and come back. They just had like a weird, irregular heartbeat or something, and I don't know what happened, but they didn't die.
Like the number one female tennis player in the world, Barty, at 23. Right? She's like, nope, I'm out. Right. And it's like, I'm done. I don't need tennis anymore. Goodbye. Other people have backed out. In this case, he died, which is so weird to say. And they brought him back, and you think doctors would be like, yeah, so you really shouldn't play ball anymore. Oh, no. The NFL, they're clearing him. God bless American sports.
What's the insurance they got to run on him now? I wonder.
I know. What liability? I'm sure there's some special riders there. Part of this is going to be done for the publicity, which is like, well, if he can come back, all sorts of people come back. Just because you had a heart attack and died doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
Hell, Terry Bradshaw could come back.
Oh my God. Okay, next one down. This is from TMZ. Again, thank you, Peanut Gallery, for making me check TMZ every day. NFL, this is another different guy, right? NFL's Chris Smith, former defensive end, dead at 31. No cause of death. Details surrounding his passing are unknown at this time. So, yeah, he's not coming back. Next one. So, lucky first, unlucky second. Who's the third one? This is a woman out of a widow of a British presenter, newscaster, who died after the jab, says no alternative but to sue AstraZeneca. If you don't know who AstraZeneca is, they're the British version of Pfizer. Yeah, they're the British version, and they were pushing their stuff on their end. And so what happened was her husband died shortly after, a week after he got the shot. And when she called the government up, she figured she had some sway since, he was a BBC guy. They weren't calling her back. So now she's going out to the other media and says, hopefully nothing happens to her. And she's saying, yeah, I think pretty much it was. It's like, she's going to the press only because they didn't call her back. Our next one down is this from Metro. It's also an English thing. We'll just punch through these. Family and club devastated after young football captain suddenly dies. Lovely boy with a good heart. No, I don't think so good. I know I probably shouldn't have said that. It's too soon. I don't think it says why. Doesn't matter. Moving on. Sorry, I'm getting so jaded by these. Next one down. Dailymail.com. This is also British. Oh, British, but it's an American story. If you guys didn't know, Jamie Foxx had a mystery medical emergency, was rushed to the hospital. He's still not back. He's shooting movies basically nonstop. And they're having to try to finish his movie right now with a stunt double. Just trying to fill it in. Maybe they'll deep fake him. I'm not sure. But we don't know what happened to him. But if he's 55 years old, and we don't know you know, if he does go down, he will be the first A-lister. But he hasn't. Remember I said no A-listers died in 3 years.
Oh, it says he started to communicate. Oh.
Yeah, not good. Again, they couldn't catch everybody. There were a few celebs that are going to fall through the cracks. Next one down. This is script guitarist Mark Sheehan. Sheehan, dead at 46. He served as the guitarist in the script. I don't really know them. Brief illness. Again, you can only vary these, brief illness, suddenly, expectedly, medical emergency. We hear there's only like 6 or 7 things. And if you hear them enough times, it's like, oh yeah, they're all the same thing. So he was unlucky. Next one down. And then we get to Clown World. So this one's my favorite one of the week. It's from Politico. After 3 Czech diplomats die suddenly, Prague urges staff to improve work-life balance. So these 3 diplomats died, right? And they're blaming it on hard work. They said the deaths underscore the diplomats work in extremely difficult conditions and often in isolation with family. Really? So in 5 months, when you have 3 diplomats just drop suddenly, you think that's because they were too stressed out because they were working. So their advice is that there should be a balance between work and private life. You don't want to work too hard. Or, again, you could catch suddenly. That's just tack it onto the list. Oh my God. I just all of a sudden had a revelation. Karen, you know those hand tattoos you got?
Mm-hmm.
As you were showing off your arms there, your gun show. Your hand tattoos. You know what it is, Brian? It reminds me of, and that's where I got it wrong. It wasn't
Crowley.
Your paternal grandfather, Aleister Crowley. It's John Constantine. Remember the movies? Remember you do that thing? I'm pretty sure. Look up Peanut. Look up John Constantine hand tattoos. I bet you that's it. I bet you that's what was triggering it. So we'll find it. Okay, so Clown World. We have 6 of them. Sorry to say, but we do, and they're all good. First one came today. Hard to believe how time flies. Alec Baldwin to resume Rust production this week. It's been 2 years since the Rust production shut down. If you don't remember what happened there, Alec Baldwin, it's like, isn't he not making movies right now? Well, no, because he shot and killed the cinematographer right in front of him and shot the director with apparently a loaded gun during the Western he was shooting called Rust, right? So shoots are dead in front of a whole bunch of people. And you'd think, well, it'd be kind of a big deal. Alex Baldwin might be going to jail. No, he's not. But they're on his forearms. That's all right. We'll get a meme going with that, with Karen's tattoos. So here's why it's so Hollywood. This is why this is Clown World. Okay. So he gets out of the legal stuff. He's not going to jail, right? He's going back to work on the movie. So he settles out of court with the husband of the cinematographer, right? He sues for wrongful death. Obviously, you shot my wife, you killed my wife with that 6 gun, right? Here's how the meeting goes down. You ready? I'm going to project. Well, because this is going to be at least a mid 7-figure settlement. We'll just say $5 million, right? Alec Baldwin's going to have to pay this guy $5 million. How much is your wife worth, right? Right. So it's like, $5 million. So then Alex comes in and says, so part of this, we're going to finish the movie. Right? That's part of the settlement is Alec gets to finish the movie, right? That's not where it ends. Then the husband chimes in, well, if you're going to finish the movie, I'm going to be executive producer on it. And he says, yes, that's it. That's how it ends. That's Hollywood for you. I love it. I love it because you know exactly how that meeting goes because everyone's Hollywood. It's like, I'm going to get a producer credit on this. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. It all comes down to business. And the wife, the cinematographer who was gunned down during the movie is forgotten. And Alec Baldwin's career set to go. You people wonder why America and Hollywood is looked at the way they are looked.
Well, so maybe the husband and Alec Baldwin were in on it.
If you want to go down that road, sure. Ooh. It's possible. I mean, and they threw the, they threw the guy that handles the guns, the armorer, under the bus, and you wonder if Alec paid out to get.
But it was a girl.
Oh yeah, the woman, have her step under the bus. That would be an easy conversation. It's like, look, you take the heat, I'll throw you 6 figures. We'll make this happen. Money talks, and most of this clown world has to do with money. Okay, so that's the first one.
Everything deals with money.
Everything is money. Well, that was a line out of Vanilla Sky. 9 out of 10 of the world problems revolve around money. Next one down. This is from RT.com. Speaking of money, Tennessee Air National Guard member wanted extra money to support his family. So what did he do? Normally, back in the day, you go to like Soldier of Fortune magazine and check out the classifieds, right? No. He goes to rentahitman.com and signs up to kill somebody for money. He's 21. He's going to go to prison for probably 10 years. He applied for a job at rentahitman.com after accepting a down payment for a contract killing from an undercover FBI agent. You see, rentahitman.com was run by the FBI. And on top of that, he was going to do it for like $5,000. That's cheap.
That's it.
I know, right? Even with inflation, come on, minimum right nowadays is what, 15? Unbelievable. Rentahitman.com turned out to be a trap. Originally created for a cybersecurity startup in 2005, it was converted into a parody site with false testimonials as a joke, right? But then the FBI grabbed it. It's like, hey, you know what? Let's set it up as a mousetrap. They got a guy.
So stupid.
Oh, Americans. God, I love them. And people wonder why. Seriously, you wonder why the British run so many. Seriously, if you go to any of the BBC, like BBC.com, you wonder why there's so many American stories in there. It's because we do things the British wouldn't even think about doing. They got all this self-discipline and dignity. Oh no, they look at us. It's like, what have they done now? What train wreck have they produced?
Pretty much.
Okay, next one down. Let's get into it, right? I love this one. This is from GameRant.com. You're going, Mark, why you don't do a lot of stories from a gaming site? You're right, I don't. In fact, it's so weird that this actually showed up in a gaming site. So the headline is 11-year-old stabbed at a Dollar Tree store after calling a guy an NPC. Okay. So I got to read part of this. And this is by the way, I was just in Mill Creek. I was just there a couple days ago. It's here. It's right down the road from here. 11-year-old in Mill Creek, Washington, was stabbed multiple times at a Dollar Tree after he called a 29-year-old man an NPC. NPC stands for non-player character, used to describe any character in a video game that isn't controlled by the player. Blah blah blah. It seems the term's been used a lot recently. So he was there with his friend, right? He and a friend yelled at the stranger. The kids called him an NPC. He responded by brandishing a knife and chased the kids into a store, and then he stabbed the kid. The kid lived, and the guy's going to be charged for assault with a weapon and assault of a child.
God, injuring his lung and liver. Damn.
Yep. And I got to remind people, this is actually for anyone out there. It's like, yes, do I believe there's a lot of, you've heard me say it in a bunch of interviews, do I think there's a lot of NPCs in the world? Yes. Are they all neutral? No. Right? In most games, you can talk to NPCs all day and they won't do anything. But there's some games, I got to mention Fallout, which is if you bug NPC long enough or say the wrong thing, they're pulling out a weapon and they are coming after you and they will chase you down. So watching, this is like, oh yeah, I knew exactly what was happening. So even though you may think they're an NPC, don't bring it up to them in front of them. Don't. They're going to take offense to it just because it was written that way. Okay. Next one down. That was the third. Fourth is, oh yeah, my favorite robbery of the week. It's from the Daily News.
They did this one.
Yeah, a gang hit a truck trailer in Northwest Philadelphia early Thursday morning. Now, the trailer was going to the Mint, or coming from the Mint, or going from somewhere, but it had on it $1 million. So actually, they changed the story. So we're going to say
$1 million or $1 million dimes?
$1 million dimes.
Okay, well, that changes those numbers earlier.
Well, $100,000 worth of dimes.
Oh, wait a minute. They only got, I'm sorry, this is even better than I thought. So they took, which is $1 million. So they took $1 million worth of 100 grand. The truck had 750 grand. They had 7.5 million dimes in the truck, and they only got 100,000 out before they decided to pack it in.
Wait, the truck had 7.5 million.
Yeah.
Let me do some quick math. That's 350 tons.
How did they even? How
does the truck carry that much?
It was minted in Philadelphia. Investigators don't know if the thieves knew what was in the trailer. Anyway, I love it because it's like, okay, you're stealing a whole bunch of dimes, which is actually great because they're untraceable. But how you fence them is going to be patience, because everybody knows you can go to the grocery store and pour the coins into a bin and get your money, but you can't do it right. They're going to put alerts, I'm sure, out to all the neighboring stores within 20, 30 miles. At least you're going to have to be driving. You have to take a cross state trip all over the place and just go to all these grocery stores because nobody's going to fence them for you. It's just so ridiculous. And to your point, Brian, how much does $100,000 worth of dimes weigh?
18 tons.
18
for $100,000.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Multiple trucks.
So
I'm sure
18 tons. So the guys who stole the dimes had to have a trailer then too, right? They would have had to have a big truck.
Yeah, they were transferring from truck to truck. Probably some sort of big rig swap out. That sounds a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And the chance of you
they
getting
could at least gotten quarters. Those still working bubblegum machines. I mean, shit.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I thought that was pretty good. Next one down. We have 2 left. This one is, I don't know why this showed up on British run stories about things that we would never do. And this is an older story, but they ran it just on April 12th. I don't know why. So the story goes that a guy won a lottery back in 2000. And back then the $27 million would have been worth, account for inflation, about 47 million. So let's say today's dollars, he had $47 million, right? In less than 6 years, he had blown it all. And the reason why I want to bring this up, this is not a happy story, which is you've heard that, for reasons like, well, if you win the lottery, you want to take the lump sum because you don't know when you're going to die. So if you take it over 20 years, well, if you die in 10 years, then you're screwed, right? Your family's not going to get it probably. But if you're bad with money, you don't take the lump sum. You do not do it because you are just going to do horror. People with fool and their money are soon parted. So I just want to rattle this off to you. So he was in Ashland, Kentucky, wins, let's just say, $47 million, right? And he starts buying stuff, and the pictures are huge. He bought a mansion, a Lamborghini, a private jet. And 5 years later, then he started doing a whole bunch of drugs as fast as he could. He was out of money, and he ended up living in a storage shed. It's terrible. But the thing that caught me was interesting and he died in 2013 at the age of 58. I'm really surprised the British ran this story after all these years. What I thought was interesting was, and I was going to throw this at Karen, was one of his interesting little side things where he threw the money at was he had initially, when his wife had divorced him earlier, go figure, he had lost custody of his daughter. So he goes to his wife and he says, how much would it cost to get custody back? And she goes, $500,000. He's all right, $500,000. We'll cut her a check. And that was it. She gave up the daughter.
Wow.
It's like, money can't buy you
daughter
love.
feels great.
I know. The mother was, great mothering there. It's like, sorry, $500,000, honey, you got to go. Just awful. Just freaking terrible. Okay, the last story before we go to break. This one, again, this is America. Every one of these had to do with money in some way or the other. Okay, this one, so wonderful. Because I'm on TMZ, thank you, Peanut Gallery, I saw this story. And the story is Jeremy Meeks. My life story is bigger than a book. I'm thinking TV series too. And you're thinking, okay, who the hell is Jeremy Meeks? And why has TMZ talk to him on a regular basis?
Oh my gosh.
Yep, it's this guy. Jeremy Meeks, you can look him up on Wiki. He is the gang banger that ended up being a supermodel, right? So this is a guy who was going to, again, this is so America. This is almost as good as the Alec Baldwin story. So he was part of the Crips. He grew up, he was born in Tacoma, right? And actually not far from here. Goes down to Los Angeles, becomes part of the Crips. Goes through the Crips until age 30, gets nailed on a weapons charge. He is going to prison, right? Gets his mugshot. If you scroll down, this is the mugshot, the greatest mugshot in the history of mugshots. This was 9 years ago. And the women at the LAPD were so taken by it, they posted it online. And the memes that followed were horrible. It was like hashtag he could rob me anytime, hashtag I don't care what he did, hashtag sign me up for his next home invasion, blah, blah, blah. And they were absolutely dead serious, because if a guy is symmetrically good looking like this, he's this sort of medical grade Chad, women just lose their common sense. They do.
Meh.
You don't like him. That's fine.
He's got tattoos, Karen.
Oh.
But it gets better. This is where the story wrinkles, and we'll go to break right after this. Because there were so many people posting online about this, a modeling agency immediately looked at this guy. It's like, you know what? Oh, we can absolutely work with this. So they go down to his freaking arraignment and his court date, and they were there for his sentencing. And as soon as they realized this, like, oh yeah, he's going to do 2 years. He's going to be sentenced to 2 years, but he's going to be out in probably a year. And he was out in 13 months. The second he got to prison, they were there with a modeling contract, and they said, dude, all you have to do is not be a criminal anymore, and we will set you up for the rest of your life. You'll be an international model, and you don't even have to smile. You can just use that face all day long. Because if you can make a mugshot look like that, you're golden. And that's exactly what he did. He went to Europe and he became an international model, and that's what he's been doing ever since. And TMZ, and to the point where every time he goes through LAX, TMZ spots him immediately and they take shots of him. It's like, oh yeah, it's hot felon, or as I like to call him, smooth criminal. There you go. The American success story right there. We don't care what you did. If you have a commodity, this is America right here, and then we're going to break. If you have a commodity, something that is marketable, we will find a way to make it happen. Guy could have killed somebody.
Well, at least he's staying out of trouble now, right?
Absolutely. That's again, you know,
I mean,
a happy story. He turned it around. He stayed on the clean, and why wouldn't he? I mean, come on, he got out of the gang life, like in the best way possible. Got a celebrity girlfriend,
money, right?
What?
Yeah, he's got money and chicks, and he didn't even have to
doesn't have to do anything. All
he
he
didn't even have to use his AK.
Right?
I cracked myself up.
The most famous Crip ever. Like, see somebody from the Bloods match that. Anyway, look him up if you get a chance. Jeremy Meeks. There you go. I'm sorry. Last thing is, I love the fact that when you go to his wiki page, even though he's got all this modeling stuff, that's the picture they use, is his mugshot. Because, hey, it's the greatest mugshot ever. All right, that's it. We're going to break.
All righty.
So, that music, please, Karen.
All righty then.
He's still not you, Ted.
Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperio Salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperiosalsa.com and order some of the most authentic flavored salsa I have had in a very long time. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas, or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it. Season everything with it. Go get it. keep it flat.
Eat my salsa.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Oh my Lord. That's great.
Gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
What do you mean, Vegas?
Vegas, Las Vegas.
I'm not going to no Vegas.
Yeah, I think, you know what, man? We're gonna go to Vegas and,
When are we going to Vegas?
We're gonna give Daddy the Rain Man suite. Do you dig that? We're going to Vegas, Mike.
Vegas! You think we get there by midnight?
Honey, we're gonna be up 500 by midnight.
Ah, Vegas!
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
One thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level. So every little line that you put in it must be basically flat. You can go anywhere you want to go with it, but you have to keep them straight. In still water, it's always flat, always level.
I'm in a cult, 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 I'm in a cult. I'm at the Grove, Bohemian. I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the sneaks, tip up the beak on the 33.
Welcome back to Strange Worlds, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B, and Master Gunner Brian Burton, who's the master programmer for the evening. We're talking about AI. Short version, don't believe the hype. Don't. If you see an article, just ignore it, because it's never coming for you. Do not stay up at night thinking, oh, AI is going to get me. No. Is your phone listening to you? Yeah, you bet. All day, every day, all the time. So just be careful what you're doing on your phone, what you're typing on the internet. Again, we're not Russia, but you know, if you type in weird stuff, they will, you know, check up on you. So don't just treat, you know, do the right thing, right? Don't get weird. You know what I mean?
So I shouldn't say fuck the government.
Exactly, which is weird. So you can't say that, but if I type in, I would like to watch gay interracial dwarf porn, that's perfectly fine.
It's really weird.
I know.
And you can't say that.
It really is. You really don't want to look at it.
I don't.
No.
At all.
All right, let's pick up some phone calls. So the phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848.
Oh my God, we're muted and nobody heard that on my stream. I forgot.
Really? Oh, that's too bad. Well, it's on my recording. So 222-2480. There's nothing odd about that number. So let's grab John in New Mexico. 505. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dox you right away. Either way, just stay where you are because the drone is inbound. What are we using tonight? We're using Reaper.
Yes, Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, you like that reference?
I do. You know, and since you said it, I really want to go look it up now. So, yeah,
that's from the Mel Gibson movie Conspiracy with Patrick Stewart and Julia Roberts, which was the government tracked anybody that bought Catcher in the Rye in a bookstore more than like a couple times. It's like anytime Catcher in the Rye was bought at a bookstore, they would immediately, triangulate and see who bought it. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I do remember that movie. It was I guess that was programming from the government for all the people that they programmed. Yeah, that's what they did as a default to find them, right? That's how they found them, because something was in the book. Yeah, that was cool. Good deal. Wow. Okay, let's see. What I wanted to bring up tonight was the Arctic versus Antarctic no sun times in the winter. And this has been bugging me for a little bit. It's so hard to find anything, in the regular media on it. But, it's not very consistent timelines. But I know they want you to think, at least this is what I'm assuming, it's exactly the same no sun time. And they try to hide it in the location where they could say nobody is inhabiting in the Arctic where it is 6 months. But I looked up a couple places to double check, like just see what, the northern cities maybe. And there's a northern city, I guess the most northern is in Norway. It's called Longyearbyen in Svalbard. But the only thing I could find on a northern city with a timeline was Barrow, Alaska. And they're saying that the sun goes down on November 18th and it's down for 65 days.
Yeah.
And then comparing, maybe a southern city, didn't really have a whole lot of information on like, say, a few things in Chile. But I did find something that said there was a South Pole station, obviously on the shelf, and it's the Edmondson one that the Navy, by the way, built, the Seabees in '56. And they're saying that that's 6 months, no sun right there. So, I think they're just trying to make us think that because we can't get that far in the Arctic or nobody's up there, that's really 6 months. But I even question if it's really any longer than that 65 days, if that's even true. But one other cool thing too on that Edmondson station, didn't mention the height on it. It was 9,300 feet above sea level, which I thought that was pretty neat because, as I recall, isn't it like 14,000 feet? Some of those mountains there that Bird was talking about, it quickly goes up in elevation down there.
Well, actually, the plateaus are at 14,000 feet. The mountains go up much, much higher than that. Even the flat places are at 14,000
really?
feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I guess water's not going over the edge there.
No, we're sealed in pretty good.
That's a common thing we all hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any comments on that. What have you guys come up with on that 6 month time? Is that pretty solid that they've even admitted to, or no sun down there?
I got nothing on it. It's not my something I've really focused on, unfortunately. I could probably fake my way through an answer, but I got nothing.
Yeah, I know that's always been kind of one of those things that's out there in flat Earth lore.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought I'd bring it up. Oh, Karen, just on a side note here, and Mark and Brian, all you guys, it's the law in Svalbard, Norway, to be armed. You have to be armed up there. So I thought that was pretty cool. I guess it's because of the polar bear threat. So that's what I'm assuming, but I'm not knowing for sure that.
All right.
But I thought that was cool.
Groovy.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys get to the other calls, and I'm having a lot of fun tonight. Thank you so much, and thanks for being my best friends.
Oh,
right.
very, very welcome. Have a good night.
Glad
Okay.
everybody.
All right. See ya.
Yeah, and shout.
Oh crap! Sorry, you're back. You're back. Go ahead.
Shout out to Jan.
Yeah. Okay.
And Mark Hearn and Brian.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye.
Yep. Let's go. Do you want me to pick up 270, Karen? Do you want me to knock that one out first?
I don't care. Pick whatever you want.
Oh
pick.
no, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. That has changed. I was thinking of 980.
No. Well.
Okay. I'll do California first. 530. You're up. Hit us with something.
Hey there, Mark. Hey, Karen. It's William.
Hey.
Hey, so I listened to, finally, after a couple days, it took me a while to watch and listen to the 6-hour Globebusters episode.
Oh, yeah?
So it was pretty star-studded. You guys were kind of quiet amongst all of them for those 6 hours. But it was good to hear. I saw a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Allegedly, Dave was on the show as well. And so it was pretty cool. Do you remember the older fella near the end, kind of heavyset when people were calling in? He was talking about how he was in the middle of the Calvary Chapel movement in the 60s. Does that ring a bell?
If it was after I left the
And Mark, I don't
show,
know
no, because I left and then I had to go do stuff, so I didn't. I haven't gone back to watch after I left. So
Yeah. Same with me.
don't
I was
know
there.
what you-
I was there for the first 3 hours, but I had to run and do some stuff.
Yeah, well, that was a long that was a long one, but yeah, I listened to that over a couple of days of driving. So, but yeah. So anyway, and then Mark, so what did you think about that video I sent of Bashar? I've never ever seen something about channeling.
Oh, you've never watched a channeling video ever? Because those have been out there for
There's a bunch of those.
Yeah, channeling videos have been around when the internet was dial-up, and even before then. So
really,
it's not my thing. I know there are a lot of people into it, and I know that the people that do it make pretty good money. So if there's demand,
well, that was telling at the end. It was about an hour, and I tried to listen to it, and I fell asleep. So then I had to re-listen to it today. But at the end, he did mention about he only does private sessions in person, and he did give the price. Any idea what you think he might charge an hour to do this?
Oh no, what was it?
Any guesses?
No,
Karen?
no, I
500.
Close. Thanks for guessing, Karen. Awesome. Way to play. $300 an hour is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where did he get that?
And
yeah,
it kind of goes along with, for me, it's too much of the crystal-y ball. This goes back. I mean, this is an old type thing, where you used to go into a darkened room and with a crystal ball and, an older gypsy woman who, excuse me, would you talk to your relatives, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
So I did more. So I listened. So I found an interview of him just being interviewed by, I don't know if it was Audrey Marcus, but he's been being interviewed by some mainline YouTubers. And so supposedly Bashar is an extraterrestrial alien that, and I can't remember if we came from them or vice versa, but open contact is supposed to be happening in like the next 2 years. Like it's going to be in the open and they're going to make it known. And the reason why I got excited for you, Mark, is that you've been wishing for the fake alien thing, and supposedly it's supposed to happen.
Oh,
so
hey,
that's why I kind of.
Dude, I have heard this from the channeling crowd especially I know it's your first time delving into these guys. but the ET channeling crowd has been saying this for a long, long time. And again, the fact that
So they're false prophets. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, they're basically false prophets, and so they are liars.
I'm not gonna go out and just straight up call him a liar, but it's like, come on, man. It's like oh, in the next 1 to 2 years, and I might even be able to give you more details if you take my private session. $300
It's
an
like
hour.
the end of the world stuff and everything else that happens every few years.
Yeah. No, I again, what got me the telltale thing for me was how enthusiastic the crowd was when he got there. Those people were absolutely drinking the Kool-Aid. And I was like, all right, it's cool. But just because you can breathe differently and you close your eyes and
about it, I'm brand new. Like I said, we're told not to do it. So, and again, in the Bible, and supposedly King Saul got some witch to get what was it, the last prophet, Samuel.
Yeah.
Got Samuel to come back. And so anyway, all right, well, shout out to the whole truth community. I guess now we're gonna step it up and for Bob and Cammie. So it was an awesome show. Thank you. Shout out to Jaren, Iru, Jaren, I think I said him. Who else was on there? A bunch of people. Dave. Witsit was there, and you were Karen, and a lot of people. So, yeah, Robbie Davidson. I think didn't he do the first few?
He was there. Rick, Shelley.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. The gang, the whole gang.
Yeah, the question is who wasn't there?
Shelley got me. Man. She was really. She made a good point there, and I was worried. It kind of got heated there for a second, but it mellowed out, and you guys let her finish, and it was awesome. I think she had a good message. So, yeah, I didn't know Bob was the same age as my brother. So, born very close to my brother. So, wow. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to just sign off, and not much else to say. Shout out to Jan and Zulu One.
All right, man.
Hang in here.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Sure.
See you. Bye-bye. Let's jump over to potentially DC, where the Reaper's not going to be able to do much there because it's a no-fly zone. So you're safe for now. 202, what's happening?
Hey, Mark and Karen. Me and my son Hunter are having a pool party with a bunch of kids. I was wondering if you or Karen have any kids and if I can borrow them for the weekend. Nothing better than the fresh scent of a child I love sniffing kids. It would make my son Hunter really happy. I'll take my answer off the air. Hot sex?
No, Joe, you can't come anywhere near my children, you pervert. You disgusting pervert.
There you go. And again,
hey, you can send your kids to him. You just make sure you shave their head and they'll be safe.
Oh, disgusting.
Yep. I try to stay away from politics, but the fact that, has he declared, by the way, Brian, if he's
planning.
Yeah. Again, every day is a brand new record. Every day we have the oldest president in the history of our country. And if we get to the election part, we'll have the oldest person ever running for election in the history.
They did release his net income that he made for his taxes last year.
And?
Over $500,000.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Thank you, by the way, Joe Biden, for calling in. By the way, does it have to be? I mean, Joe Biden's actually an easy one. By the way, if you guys didn't figure it out, that was voice emulation software, and it wasn't splicing together words. It was just using the harmonics from voice sampling. Our voice emulation software has got very, very good. So if you want your audiobook next year read by Joe Biden.
But you knew it was fake because he said all the words.
Right. He didn't screw up any of the words. Good point. He sounded 15 years younger. Okay, let's pick up. We're going to pick up 9. What time is it? Yeah, we got time. Let's pick up 980, and then we'll try to do 270-818-214. But I may wait for 214 until after the break, just so you know. So 980, what is happening? What do you want to talk about?
Hello, I am calling in today because I had a conversation with my mother earlier today and her boyfriend. And I saw something online that just really I found weird. So I'll also try and find my way around because because you're streaming, so I wouldn't want to get you banned. So in the 1930s, there was a place in Central Europe, right? In the 1930s to early 1940s, and they made a song called translate to English as Devil Song. And so I saw this, I listened to it, I thought, oh, that's interesting. And in the little recommended tab for your videos, I saw a Latvian version of this song. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So then I see there's another version in Estonian, and then there's another one in Spanish, and another one, and another one, and another one, all sorts of languages. So I check this out, right? And I translate it. I see it's got translations. All of them, the original version was the people who worked for the guy who failed in his art class.
You can say Hitler.
You can say Hitler. Hitler isn't banned.
Hitler.
Yeah, Hitler isn't banned on
You can
on
say
YouTube.
Hitler. You just can't say that the Holocaust was not real.
Right.
Oh, well,
You can't mix Hitler with other things. How's that?
made a Nazi song, right?
Yeah.
And one of the lyrics translated to English says, "We fight for Germany, we fight for Hitler." And so I see this, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And in all the songs, they use the same exact melody, maybe different speeds, maybe different instruments, but it's the same exact melody that originates from Nazis. And I'm sorry, I'm having.
That's all right. You're good. Keep going.
No. And so there's modern versions of it too. Like in Brazil, there's the paratrooper regiment they have for Brazil. The anthem of it is the same melody. And then there's a Norwegian version that's used now. Granted, a lot of the versions and languages are from places that the Nazis had invaded, but a lot of them are used now, like to this day, including in Germany. They made their own new version with a lot of similar lyrics, just switched out for more modern things. So instead of saying like, we fight for Germany, we fight for Hitler, it'll say like, we fight for Germany, we fight for freedom and honor, or something like that. And it says the same line, we fight for X country, we fight for X cause, in the same exact point, in the same exact melody, and they all have a specific laugh. It'll be like something, the devil laughs, ha 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 ha, and then it'll say that same line. It's like the International, but for fascism, and it's really interesting to me.
I will check it out. Peanut, send me a link to one of those songs, and I will check it out during the break.
Plenty of languages.
Cool, awesome. I'm always looking for new stuff to research. That's great. Right. Anything else? Because we're going to break here in a little bit. So, anything else?
But in Ukraine, right? There's the British Volunteers for Ukraine in 2023 made their own version with it this year in Ukraine.
Well, there's Nazis in Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't shock me too much because those groups have never fully gone away really anywhere. They live and still live in a lot of places. So
no matter what you peddle, they're always gonna have an audience. And so I saw this, and I thought this was pretty interesting. How this is like, it's also really kind of swept under the rug. I mean, you can see in like comments of these videos, people will acknowledge it, but in like officially, it's like swept under the rug. Yeah. How this originated from Nazism.
All right, I will definitely check it out. Thank you for finding that.
Yeah.
But I gotta let you go because we're going to our final break.
Yeah, I see you.
All right, see you, man. Thanks. And with that, are we close? Yeah, I'm pretty close. We ran long the last one anyway. When we come back, I swear to God, we will pick up 270-818, 214, probably pick up 214 first, then 818, then 270, and then maybe 602, maybe. We'll see how it goes. Karen, the final outro, please.
Where is the curvature?
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33.
Andre.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Hey, Mark,
Anything else?
does your chair have
I was never here.
seatbelts in it?
So these straps were for lumbar support. And
okay.
But I didn't like the lumbar support, but I decided to keep it, so I reversed it, and so the straps are on this side now, and the lumbar is actually behind me. So if the chair
You got up, guys, like you strap yourself in or what? What the hell are you doing in that chair?
I'm surprised you noticed. Yeah, it's like suspenders. Wow, you actually see that? Oh, because you saw the chair where I'm.
You got up. I was like, and remember, I notice everything.
Yes, you do.
Package intercepted.
I also had this nice little
Alpha
neck
33, come on back, let's see.
that I had to raise because I'm a little taller.
Remember, you can't see what all my room looks like.
No, I can't.
Unless I do this.
Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
There you go, Mark.
What? Oh, wow. What going on in there? Look at all.
Yeah.
Is that a church pew?
Yes, it is. We got that in 1979 from my uncle's church. Hauled it back to Virginia in a van. With our first third row seat.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 404. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B, and master programmer / master gunner Brian Burton. If you have any AI questions, but really you shouldn't, because AI just isn't real. So if you see this, see a headline, don't be scared. It's just nothing. It's just a buzzword. That's all they're doing. AI is everything. And you know what? I was kind of hoping they'd stick with smart. Remember when smart was attached to everything?
Smart would be a
toast-
better
Mhm.
explanation for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
smart toaster, smart vacuum cleaner, and all this. Now it's like,
But smart, that had a meaning too. That smart. There was a thing that was going around like an anagram for smart.
right.
Hey, real quick, how bad I was in Lowe's today, right?
Yeah.
And they had, it's spring, so they had all their barbecue grills and smokers out there.
Yeah.
I shit you not, they have a smoker that's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Yeah, I've
I'm just what?
yeah,
Why?
I know.
But yeah.
I know. I know. Bluetooth is so cheap to integrate to stuff. The Bluetooth's on freaking everything now. Absolutely freaking everything. It's like run it from your phone. It's like run what? My toaster?
Here,
Why?
self-monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology. But all those aren't good either because that's stuff that's attached to the Internet of Things. So it's like all of the appliances in your home being attached to the internet and saying this person uses this and this person uses that, and that sort of thing.
I got a new dishwasher and I forgot to turn it off, but I was at work one day and my phone went off and it said my dishwasher was done.
Mm-hmm.
I texted the wife, said, "Hey, the dishes are done." She goes, "How'd you know?" I said, "Yeah, I know."
It still tickles me when people use like Alexa and they're it's having a problem responding, and they'll still like yelling to it, repeating over and over. It's like you could have gone over there and turned on wherever the hell you wanted to turn on manually. But no, you're gonna sit there and argue with the freaking voice. That and the people that say thank you to Alexa. I know it's common courtesy, but still. All right, moving on. Let's pick up phone call. Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. We're going to go to 214. Hi, Jan.
Hello, guys. Great show tonight. And hello to you, Mark, Karen, and Peanut. And Master Gunner is still there?
He is.
Yes, I am.
Oh, great. Great. Karen, are you familiar from back in the day a singer named Roy Orbison?
Yes.
Well, if you happen to like him, I heard a song recently that I hadn't heard him sing before, and it's I drove all night.
Yeah.
And when I heard that song, I thought of Ted driving to you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in that song, he not only, and Roy just felt this song so deeply. He not only did he have the key to her heart, he had the key to her home.
And yet I found that song sad because Ted was driving away from me because he was leaving Seattle. So it had a completely different meaning for me.
Well, one day you might draw one up for someone. Let's see here. I see, I got that. There was something else. The show last week. Oh yeah, there was a show last week with a lot of great masculine things going on last week. It was very good for me, especially personally. And speaking of masculinity, Mark, and your birthday coming up,
Okay.
I had another thought about that T-shirt.
Really? The yeah T-shirt?
Mm-hmm. The Beatles had a song, "She Loves You."
Yeah.
Maybe
point.
she loves you.
Thank you, Jan.
You don't want her to love you.
Yeah,
Well,
for those of you who didn't catch that, my birthday is Monday. So yeah, but thank you, Jan. I appreciate that.
Well, and I think there was something else, but I sort of forgot it. But I'm glad all is well, and again, it was a great show, and I can't believe that people are getting away with just died suddenly, and no one's questioning anything. That's just unreal.
Yeah,
And,
they've normalized it now to where People are just going to go with it, and they're like, oh.
Well, some people are starting to.
Yeah, but a lot aren't. I mean, they're just like, it's like, oh, it happens. It's like, yeah, I guess it sort of happens to people, but it's frustrating. But we keep, getting the message out there as best we can, and even if we stop a few people from making that decision, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, saying hello to John and William and everybody in Canada. How wonderful for Jen that she and her husband are having an anniversary, I think, this week. And to Jill and so you guys have a great night and everything.
All right, thank you, Jan. You have a good night.
Thanks, Jan.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Jan. Maybe she gets more shout outs than me sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to UFO Hunters on YouTube. Thank you for the tip.
UFO Hunters.
Yes. UFO Hunters.
And remember, next week is going to be Stephen Carpenter's show.
That's right. That's right. The real Flat Earth rock star.
Real Flat Earth rock star. So if you have questions for him, come up with stuff. I've been trying to come up with stuff for the Vegas conference about, remember a couple of years ago, quite a few years ago when I gave away cards to the, Illuminati cards. I've got some stuff.
I got one of those Illuminati cards. I got the Flat Earth, not Flat Earth, but the ninjas.
Oh, you did? You got ninjas?
I got the ninjas card, yeah.
Nice. All right, let's pick up. I'm going to jump down the list, and I'm going to come back. I don't think I picked up 270, but I will come back to 270. I want to pick up 818 because they dropped. 818 out in California. What's happening?
Hey, how you guys? It's another paradise.
What? You're breaking
I
up.
want to give a shout out. Can you hear me?
You're going to give me a shout out?
Yeah, well, I talk about this guy that I stumbled upon in the internet. He has a channel called Archites. It's ARCHAIX, and talks about the resets and the Phoenix event that happens every 138 years.
Cool.
Mysteries and enigmas of the ancient world, and today is explained on a simulation.
Nice.
So I think we got a new guy in the Flat Earth family. He talks about the holographic firmament. And his name is Jason. He's in Texas. Hope he can come to the meetup or conference in Las Vegas, baby. That should be so amazing.
Oh, okay.
And I also want to talk a little bit about this new event that's happening, which is the 10th eclipse on a 36 eclipse cycle. It takes 36 18 years eclipses to go around the zodiac, which is this 420. Energetic day, very powerful day, just like when they started the lockdowns back in the spring of 2020. When we entered the age of Aquarius, we are entering the 10th cycle of a 36 cycle of the eclipses on the Saros cycle, which is only possible on our beautiful non-rotating flat Earth. So my warning is don't get high on 420 because you're going to receive some beautiful energies. Stay sober and embrace this new world.
Groovy. I'm all for it.
Great. And next meetup we're going to have here in Sunset Beach is the Northern Solstice. Hope you can make it.
I'm going to try. So we'll talk offline on that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Mark. And,
all right.
I love you guys. Hope to see you soon.
All right. You have a good one, Renee.
Thank you.
Talk soon.
You're welcome.
Bye. That was Renee from Sunset Beach. And that was the meetup. He was the guy that got me down there for that last meetup. Beautiful place.
Cool.
A lot of great California people. We're gonna jump back up the list. 270. Did I pick you up before the break? We got quite a few calls out there. 270 out in Kentucky.
Hello.
Hey, see, I was just about to say cancel on the Reaper, but you're talking, so let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, first time caller, long time fan, Mark and Karen. What's up, guys?
Really, you're a first time caller?
Yeah.
All right, another
I'm a
first-time
first-time
caller.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember me. This is Jake Grant. I bumped into you guys at the conferences, FEICs, and I made a documentary a little while ago. What if the Earth is flat? Remember that?
I will say yes, but you got to remember there's a lot of flat Earth content out there, so I'd probably have to.
That.
Oh yeah.
I do. I remember that.
Karen remembers because she's special, or she's lying. One of the two.
I'm not lying.
I don't know. You could be lying. You don't have to lie to make friends, Karen. Come on, everybody knows that.
Well, in your segment, I put in the film, Mark, I had the giant astronaut like attacking your back while you were kind of giving your 2 cents. I don't know if that rings any bells, but anyways, I digress. I wanted to call a couple conspiracy black belts. I'm currently down here in Texas. I've been working with Skiba's son Jeremiah on a broadcast called Skiba News Nation, and we are at the eve of an interesting event, and I wanted to kind of pick your guys' brain because tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of Waco.
Really?
And so tomorrow, the 30th anniversary of Waco is happening, and Jeremiah Skiba and I are heading over to the property, and we're going to be interviewing and talking with some of the survivors. And the guy who actually owns the property is going to let us on and give us some interview time. And I know you guys, with your conspiratorial black belts, might have some possible questions or, theories regarding the Waco topic, and I wanted to pick your brain around that. Any thoughts?
I don't know if I have any questions. I mean, it's been 30 years. I mean, there's been so many things. In fact, I think there was a thing on Waco done just last year, another Netflix docu thing that was done.
They just did a movie last month.
Was there a movie last month about Waco? I mean, yeah. Waco was a hot button. I don't have questions as much as I do a statement, which is, in fact, I joked about the Waco thing several times when the flat Earth was kicking off. It's like, one of the reasons why flat Earth did as well as they did is we didn't have a compound or a guru or anything like that, because once you start setting up something like that, the government has a permanent eye on you. As far as what did the government overstep and just roll in there and use any excuse in the book to wreck the place and take lives? Yeah, of course they did. But I don't know if any questions. So I'm a little surprised there's actually people still tied to Waco there, the original Waco thing 30 years later.
I was extremely surprised as well. It seems to me right now that there's a divide between the actual property owner, who has some pretty crazy theories. Maybe I'll toss your guys' way and it might spark some other ties into this topic, but the property owner and the actual survivors seem to have some kind of rift between them. So we want to get to the bottom of that tomorrow when we talk to them. But man, he shared some really interesting things when we talked to him recently. He says that Waco was a property bordering a property owned by the Bush and Clinton families. And there were some interesting CIA trafficking going on at this bordering property. And these people at Waco, before the raid happened, were working in the town. They were, involved in the community. And they had gotten a cleaning job at this property. And they went in and they found a bunch of tapes that were pretty much Epstein-like, where I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
And this is allegedly, according to the owner of the property, one of the reasons that they completely eradicated the whole Waco community.
Sounds a bit tacked on. If you're like, I mean, I mean,
You mean a property that was owned by Bush and Clinton at the same time, like Bush family and Clinton at the same time? I feel like you'd be able to
So
find
there's a
records
lot-
on that.
I mean, if you saw something you weren't supposed to see, okay, let's play this out for a second. If indeed the compound bordered something, and let's say some of the people were employed, got some odd jobs at that neighboring property, which would be suspect in itself, and they did see something or have access something to, remember, this is 30 years ago. This would be 93. They weren't supposed to see. Again, even if you were going to take it that far, talking about it to the wrong people, which would be basically anybody in town, would be a terrible idea. It would be an awful idea. So yeah, if that was the case, then yeah, they set themselves up to fail. I don't know if I buy it though. It sounds too added after the fact. It's like, I mean, look, any compound, if you set up a compound with a sole leader and set it up sort of like a guru shamani type thing, you are automatically on the radar. And if they want to trump up some weapon charges and go after you, they're going to go after you. They don't like compounds. They don't like people trying to go off grid and creating because you're bordering on too close to doing your own self-government thing. They don't like it. Again, not to go off in a whole other thing, but don't forget what happened to Utah back in the day. Way back in the day when Utah is like, hey, you know what? We got enough people. We got enough religious thing going on. We're going to start our own country. We're going to call it Utah. Yeah, government didn't like that.
By the way, just real quick. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't got the real estate, but the Bush Ranch, the ranch that all the Bushes lived on,
yeah,
that's west of the town of Waco, and the compound was east of the town of Waco.
Yeah. It's a nice story, but I don't know, man. It's so, I mean, come on, this is the first I've heard after 30 years. And no, this has never been on any of my radar things for 30 years. Looking for reasons to wipe out Waco. There were plenty of reasons to wipe it out. From a government standpoint, you did not need much.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how to take it. Of course, coming from the guy who owns the literal Waco property, he's the pastor of the church there. He also filters in a bunch of QAnon, just nuts stuff. Like
sounds like publicity.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds a little planty. And also the fact that he has this weird divide with the actual survivors kind of troubles me, which is why I bring it up. I'm not sure how to take it, but I did think it was interesting, that it is telling to me in a way, though, how much media is being pumped out. Like, just like you guys said, there's been like a documentary in the past month put out. There's a very, I can't remember what his name is, but there's another mini series coming out on another show detailing the months and years following Waco with some A-listers. And it's just telling to me whenever the media starts cranking out all of these counter narrative, what's the best psyop out there? Well, a movie,
Sure.
And since we're coming up on the 30th anniversary, I wonder what the cover-up is. What's the point? And yeah, I just want to pick your guys' brains.
I got you.
Any questions you would ask a survivor of Waco?
Nope. I got nothing. Find out what you can, and then relay back to us.
I would have to go back and like research it honestly, because it's been so long since I've looked at any of that stuff.
Yeah,
I would have to refresh on it to really be able to think of something personally.
I mean, honestly, I didn't see any conspiracy in Waco. The government overstepped, absolutely.
Sure.
It was pretty black and white, honestly.
Yeah.
It just again, if you're going to start a compound, you want advice. You want to start a compound, you better make it absolutely peace loving. If you start stockpiling weapons at all,
right? If you, yeah, exactly.
You are just asking for it. The ATF. I mean, that is like number one on their things to do. Is like find.
Well, remember, it wasn't just the weapons. It was he was Jesus.
Well, there was that too.
Yeah, and they were supposedly saying that he was taking on underage wives, and
Oh yeah, no,
they were putting all kinds of stuff on there.
Yeah, he was the cliche. I mean, come on, this is Matt Boylan wanted to start a compound like that in South America, and
that's right.
He did for real.
Did he not get the Kool-Aid?
If Matt Boylan would have gotten a whole
Contract?
money, he absolutely would have pulled up the same thing, only without guns. Anyway, hey, I gotta let you go because we're running out of time here in the show. But thank you. Report back to us. Let us know how it went out there. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on, guys. And just one last little thought. I mentioned I'm down here with Jeremiah Skiba, and Sheila Skiba just dropped her book detailing how the hospitals took Rob out. And so I don't know if the audience would be interested in something like that, but I wanted to throw in a good word for her because I've been down here helping them out.
Well, where can anybody get the book?
Where can they get the book? Can you go ahead and plug it?
Yeah, the website's theprotocolthatkills.com.
Wow.
All right.
That's direct. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Rest
All
in
right.
peace, Rob Skiba.
Yep. Rob Skiba.
Rob and Bob, two greats that we've lost.
Yes, indeed. All right. We have. Wow. I gotta pick up the last call, don't I?
Yeah, a couple minute or two.
Yeah. No, let's just do this one. I'm sorry, guys. Whoever's left out there, 602-612-6315-04-904. I got to pick up 845, otherwise I'm not going to get to them. One sec. Start
Hey, by the
spreading-
way, her book's on Amazon.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with that hot sauce that Karen's selling.
Nice. New York.
With
Awesome.
the Mexican wrestlers.
How you guys doing?
Do you like that?
Hey,
Yeah, I did.
shout out to Mark. Hey, shout out to Mark Sargent, Karen B, and Master Gunner. How about that? Start off that way.
Yay.
There you go. How's it going?
Good.
Good calls tonight, by the way. Interesting. Unbelievable. The whole. I mean, everything is just crazy. Everything's crazy. Like the DeMar Hamlin thing.
DeMar Hamlin.
At that, and I'm like, it's a fucking clone. It's 6-day Arnold. They fucked up. It's literally just like the movie. I just watched it. He died on the field when he snaps his fucking neck.
Yeah.
Player.
Yeah, you die on the field, and I don't know. I mean, again, I'm gonna be proven dead wrong. Little play on words there, deliberately, which is I said it's like, well, at least his career's finished. I mean, he's never going back on the freaking field. It's like,
Yeah,
there's
you
no
did
way.
say that.
I said that many times, and
All the other athletes were like, "Oh no, fuck that! I'm not going out there."
Yeah. Even his fellow players wouldn't even go out on the field after that. It's like, no, that man dead. We're not going out there. That's bad juju on the field. And it's like, no, he's going to be playing next season. It's like, what? I thought rolling him out.
I don't see it.
Rolling him out on those television shows, I thought that was just obligatory. I didn't think you were actually bringing him back because again, there's a liability issue. If he drops dead now, right? Who are you gonna put? You got to put point to the doctors. It's like you cleared him. So how can you? Why would you run that risk? Why would you run that risk? But whatever. Actually, I
don't know. When did they say next season? Right, he's going to play. How many months away is that? And anything could happen. You didn't see my finger quotes. I mean,
yeah, that's true. But the point was
could suddenly happen.
The point was that three different
suddenly happened. Correct.
Three different NFL doctors cleared him. I mean, it wasn't even a vote. It was like 3-0. They're like, oh no, he's totally good to go. It's like, what? It's just like giving the boxer a thumbs up. It's like, oh no, he's dying in the ring. And that's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? There's no. I mean, I understand the Alec Baldwin thing. I totally get that because that's just business. That's just straight up. You can't put a price on human life. Oh no, his wife is worth this much. There it is, cold hard cash. But DeMar Hamlin, why? Why would he even want to go out? Oh, whatever.
Right. I just can't see how he would want to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you want to go out as a player unless they told him? And which is why they said in the headline, it's it's volunteer, he's volunteering to do this. We're not forcing him. Even though I'm pretty sure they're just trying to normalize the whole thing. It's like, well, you might die, you might come back. Oh, by the way, I do not believe that story. There was a story I didn't talk about tonight, which was I didn't believe for a second that kid was dead for 2 hours that fell off that rock climbing wall. And then they brought him back. It's like, no. You look up what happens to the human body in 2 hours.
2 hours. There's no freaking way.
Exactly. That's a misdiagnosis.
No fucking way. You
You'd have to be
literally
on ice.
minutes to fucking be dead.
Yeah. No,
Your brain is toast. If it doesn't get oxygen, you're done.
Yeah. And so when they said, no, he was dead for 2 hours, like, no, he wasn't. Somebody has thought he was dead for 2 hours.
I mean, I've heard of children being in ice water for up to 10 minutes.
Exactly.
And coming back.
No, 2 hours, you're in the freaking
2
morgue.
hours. Dude, we have an hour to package you and get you to the fucking hospital, or guaranteed you will not survive surgery. It's some strange phenomenon. They found it out in the fucking 70s. That's why there's medevac flights and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You have the golden hour. If you are not in surgery and getting fixed, you will die, even if you get into surgery and they fix you.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even
thing.
That's why I didn't even run the story.
Us on the field, we say platinum 10 minutes because we got 10 minutes because we can't eat up that hour. Yeah. We got to get them, out of the wrecked car or whatever. It's just bullshit. 2 fucking hours.
Yeah. No. I didn't even want to run
everybody smokes meth. What the fuck? Like everybody's just fucking stupid.
I mean, can't rule it out.
What the fuck? No. I guess you can't. Bitch.
Hey Zulu, what do you think of the
fucking new normal?
Zulu, what do you think of the gangbanger turned model? What do you think? You would think he was a medical grade Chad? What do you think?
Yeah, he's hot, but not as hot as your NSA ID photo. Oh shit! Did I say that out loud?
Dude. Okay, first off, that was a filter I put on.
Sorry.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's funny. The what is it? Hot felon? What'd you call him?
That's what they called him. Hot felon. That's
smooth criminal.
I called him a smooth criminal. Yeah. I don't know how they missed that, by the way. That's the LAPD women. It's like, oh, look at the hot felon that came through the system today. It's like, why? It was so easy. Just say smooth criminal. My God. That's all you have to do.
Interesting. It's just you're so right. Our society fucking blows. It doesn't matter if there's a way that we could figure out how to make a fucking buck off of it. It doesn't matter if the guy killed fucking 14 children and 6 puppies. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. He's hot and we could sell it.
Little addendum to that, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Which was I'll get the quote from you. Which is one of his early modeling gigs. He flies to the UK and they wouldn't let him in. Because they did a background check on him. They'd punch him into the system. It's like, are you kidding?
Right. They're like, you're a felon,
dude. You're like bad news. Doesn't matter how hot you are. You're bad news. They send him home.
I wonder if you could go to Canada.
Well, no, he's fine now because they call ahead and they're saying we're gonna send a guy. He's gonna raise all sorts of alarm bells, but he's totally good. He's fine. All right,
right.
What quotes
he's cool,
you got?
and he makes us money.
Hi, we're America. Here's our gangster supermodel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Hi,
yes.
we're America. Here's our transgendered minister of health. This is a fucking our country.
Yeah. America does the stuff that nobody else would even dare do. We do the weirdest stuff.
It's fucking ridiculous.
The circus.
Oh, real quick, the whole Bud Light fucking Mulvaney thing.
Yeah,
I kind of think it's more than just that it was some woke asshole executive. I kind of feel like it's intentional that they're trying to fucking screw the company, get rid of all those people. The head of the CEO of Bud is a retired CIA agent. Do you ever retire?
No, you never quit the agency. Sorry, was that out loud?
No. So
no, you never quit.
I don't know, man. Just everything is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because that
all
is
right, man. Give me
how
a
could
quote.
they not fucking know?
Dude, the show's ending. Give me a quote.
Yeah. Oh, there is nothing more beautiful than a rainbow, but it takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow.
I don't even know what to make of that. It's one of the gayest things you've ever said.
Yes.
Man. I took it as there's good and there's shit all around us. Try to fucking do the best you can.
All
I'm
right.
not sure where the shit
We
was
have
in that
there's
quote.
good people around, and then the world is just so fucked up.
Okay.
A rainbow quote? Really?
That's what I got out of it. That's what I got out of it.
Holy shit balls.
Oh, it makes me want to go out and buy Elton John tickets. Okay, we're leaving.
There you
On
go.
that note,
There you go.
We'll be back
Trying to
next
be
week.
inclusive. Fuck Bud Light.
Next week, same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Brian.
My God, it's full of stars.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
All right, with that, good night, everybody. Hot sex. I'll see you at the YMCA.
Shush, 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 shush.
We have a sauna.
Hell. And that concludes another episode of Strange World.
ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. Love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Hello, Daisy. Hello, my